Where's my sound? It wasn't plugged in properly.
Goeiemôre almal, kan ons net almal asseblief net sorg dat die kameras af is en dat jou mikrofone ook af is asseblief.
Morning, colleagues. I'm just testing. Can you hear me?
Morning work, yes. We can hear you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good Friday further.
I want the Devarella, no?
Good morning, councillors. Executive Mayor, all the councillors of the opposition, and the administration. We also like to welcome the guests on YouTube. I'm going to start the meeting by asking Councillor Nias to pray for us, please.
Thank you, Speaker. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, Father, thank you for every person, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this meeting. We thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you can see in the perfect detail the end of every beginning. Every project, every season, every life, nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Your righteousness transcends all our efforts and understanding. Forgive us for our pride, the pride that puffs us up and the pride that threatens to unequally qualify us. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, bless the speaker, all those present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. In Jesus' name, Amen.
Thank you very much, Councillor. With English like that, you're going to soon be talking English permanently. With that, I'd like to continue with the rest of the meeting. First of all, applications for leave. Do we have any applications for leave for today's meeting, Chief Whip?
Chairperson, I'm not 100% sure. I know that sounds odd, but Councillor Eso said he was intending to apply for leave. I have not though received the form. So if Councillor Eso is not here, then he is putting in a leave form. Thank you.
Thank you. And I've also received a message from Councillor Smart that he's on his way to the doctor, so he won't be attending, or he might meet us up later. With that, MM, any applications for leave from administration?
Morning, Speaker. Morning, everybody. No, I did not receive any applications. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll therefore go on to the roll call. Could I please ask the corporate services to continue with the roll call?
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, everybody. Councillor Adams.
Morning, everyone. Hi, says goeiemorgen. I'm present.
Councillor Alexander.
Goeiemorgen almal, teenwoordig.
Councillor America.
Good morning all present, thank you.
Councillor Barnard.
Good morning, present.
Councillor Brown.
Good morning, Rosemary, present.
Councillor Busak.
Good morning, Rosemary. I'm present.
Councillor Carolus.
Yeah, I'm present.
Councillor Clark.
Present, good morning.
Councillor Kuris.
Good morning, present.
Councillor Cronje.
Good morning, Cronje, present.
Councillor Dutoy.
Môre Rosemary, ek is teenwoordig.
Councillor Esau. Councillor E.D. Vigeland.
Morning, John Rose, present.
Councillor R.G. Vigeland.
Good morning, everybody. R.G. Vigeland present.
Councillor Fry. Councillor Gum.
Good morning, everyone present.
Councillor Greef.
Goeiemorgen, allemaal teenwoordig.
Councillor Goldtijk.
Good morning, Councillor Goldtijk present, thank you.
Councillor Hani.
Good morning, Rosemary, I'm present.
Councillor Jantjies.
I am, madam.
Councillor Jay. Councillor Johnson.
Good morning, I'm present.
Councillor Kleinans.
Teenwoordig, môre.
Alderman Kritzinger. Councillor.
She is present. She's just having problems with her microphone.
Councillor Kruger.
Good morning, I'm present.
Councillor Lento.
Good morning, I'm present. Thank you.
Councillor Losi.
Good morning, Losa is present.
Councillor Lau.
Good morning, President Rosemary.
Councillor Mankele.
Good morning, Councillor Manuel present.
Councillor Mbete.
Morning, Maros. Morning, everyone. I'm present.
Councillor Etim Daka.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Maros. Daka present, thank you.
Councillor F. Daka.
I'm present, thank you.
Councillor Mrukuli.
Good morning, everyone. Councillor Mkhulu present.
Councillor Ngamele.
Good morning, Maros. Councillor Ngamele present.
Councillor Neetlen.
Teenwoordig, dankie.
Councillor Niaus.
Ora Niaus teenwoordig.
Councillor Ndondini. Councillor Peterson,
John Denny present.
Councillor Peterson present.
Councillor Philander,
Good morning, Councillor Philander present.
Councillor Katana,
Morning, everyone. Katana present.
Councillor Kampi,
Morning, everyone present.
Councillor Roosa,
Good morning, Maros. Present. Good morning, everybody.
Councillor Cyphers,
Present. Good morning, Rosemary. Present.
Councillor Summers,
Summers present.
Councillor Smart, apology, Councillor Snyman,
I'm present, thank you.
Councillor Stander,
I'm present, Rosemary. Good morning.
Councillor Toto, Alderman van die Kerk,
Good morning, President Rosemary.
Alderman van Wyk,
Good morning, Rosemary. Present.
Councillor von Brandes,
Present, Rosemary.
Councillor R. Foster,
Goeiemôre teenwoordig.
Councillor S. Foster,
Good morning, President.
Councillor Wessels,
I'm present. Thank you, Rosemary.
Councillor Windwy.
Môre Rosemary teenwoordig.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. We're going to move on to the next item, which is item 2, disclosure of interest by councillors, Schedule 7 of the Code of Conduct for Councillors. Item 6, disclosure of benefits by municipal staff members. Item 5 of the Code of Conduct for municipal staff members. Do we have any declarations, please? We have none, none indicated, so I'm going to move on to the next item, item 3, matters of discretion of the Speaker. At this stage, I have none. I'm going to move on to the reports to Council. Item 4.1, adjustment budget 23-24 budget, April 24. I'm going to ask the Mayor to bring that in, please, to table it.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning, councillors. What we have before us in 4.1 is an adjustments budget, and these will be adjustments to the 23-24 budget, and this flows from a DORA, in other words, a Division of Revenue Act, that was published in the Government Gazette on the 20th of March, 2024. Now, included in that document is an amount of 505 million rand that has been awarded as a grant, as a public transport network grant, a PTNG as it's called, that has been awarded to George for our public transport network, in other words, GIPTON, and that amount will then be applied to upgrading of roads, and I think the indication is that we need to also focus then on the Thembalethu roads, but it certainly is there to improve our bus network. So that is the main amount that is being dealt with there. There are two smaller amounts, a reduction in the Integrated Urban Development Grant, the IUDG, of 7.571 million, and an additional amount on the INAP grant of 1.346 million rand. So we need to bring those into our budget, and in terms of the regulations, we need to do that within 60 days of the publication by National of these amounts. So accordingly, I'm tabling these amounts, and no doubt the fellow speakers will add and elaborate a little bit further on this budget. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mayor. The first person to speak on this item is Councillor Wessels. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Yeah, I think the Mayor tabled all three items. I would just like to congratulate administration. I think getting 500 million additional for road infrastructure for the GIPTN is indicative of the way that George Municipality is currently spending its funds, and it's creating a lot of relief on our CRR. So I really would like to congratulate administration on that. Also very excited that the Integrated National Electrification Program is receiving a additional allocation. That is also something that I think is indicative of the work that has been done within our Electrotech department. So with that, I would propose the recommendation. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Hani. You have 2 minutes.
Good morning, Speaker, and good morning to the fellow councillors. In terms of Section 28 of the Local Government Municipality Finance Act Management, the adjustment budget and mark in order to accommodate the changes in the grant of funding to allocate an extra to make the provision for the project reduce income. In that regard, we welcome the additional funds from the national government of almost 500,000 with the reference to the public transport network. We also applaud the national government for the additional of 160 million availed for the capital projects. Those projects, however, is not properly clarified in this report. We also expressed our serious concern about the reductions with regards to the capital allocation to the budget project in the most disadvantaged areas in order to upgrade the already affluent. We specifically point out the reallocation funds that were earmarked for the infrastructure in the grants, such as stormwater upgrades in Tabata Street in Thembalethu and the Ngamesha Street in Zone 9. Surely such a reallocation can be only done with the proper public participation. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Peterson. You have 2 minutes.
Mr. Mayor, the adjustment budget refers. Once again, your administration must deal with fiscal dumping of national departments. This is nothing to brag about, as the bulk of these monies will not be spent before the end of the financial year, and permission will once again be asked to roll over some of these funding. These funding were only given by the national departments to make the expenditure look good at the end of their financial year. Mr. Mayor, we see that an amount for the electrification program was increased by 1.3 million. We hope that the consumers in need of this basic service will benefit from this grant. One thing that is noticeable is that we did not have load shedding for the last couple of weeks. I guess your party cannot campaign on this issue now, as this is one of your party's main campaign points. Mr. Mayor, we noticed that the urban development grant was lowered by an amount of 7.5 million. We believe that this amount was lowered due to not enough spending that occurred on received funds. We further believe that this concept is a bit of a dilemma for your party. The segregation seems to still be high on the agenda. Let's not forget the haste in which the clay tennis courts were erected to counter this exact concept. Mr. Mayor, we also note that an astronomical amount of 500 million were adjusted for the public transport network. We are glad for the identified roads that will be upgraded to accommodate the bus service, and hope that the local contractors will benefit through the supply chain processes. It seems in George there are only 2 companies from outside of George that are capable through your administration supply chain processes of being able to do these jobs. The PPPFA regulations are clear, but are circumvented to make this happen. Mr. Mayor, we noticed that there are still a heavy reliance on contracted services. Our question now is what happened over the weekend at Fleet Management where 2 brand new bakkies were stolen? The circumstances around this crime is very suspicious. Was there security stationed at the premises? Is there a camera in the premises or guarding the premises? We believe that not all cameras are operational that was installed and that this bakkies will not be found as a George Herald report.
Thank you, Councillor. Your time is up. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Lowe. You have 3 minutes, please.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, in terms of the Municipal Finance Management Act, Municipal Budget and Reporting Regulations of DORA provided the municipality to apply for more comprehensive funding to address the needs of the whole George, which also includes and must be overwhelming focus on the communities and people live in object poverty. This adjustment budget, as indicated in this item, is only focusing on 2 adjustments to the budget, namely the public transport network grant with an amount of 505 million rand and the integrated national electrification program with an amount of 146 million rand. DORA provides council with a huge opportunity to access 9 divisions from which it could take advantage from. But as we know, when a council is narrowing, focusing on matters other than accessing funds to enhance the flight of the disadvantaged areas, it will not do so a matter which is evident of this council. Instead of only adjusted the National Electrification Program and Public Transport Network grant, council must have also used the opportunity to enhance the other DORA grants like water services, infrastructure through the implementation of provision of each household with water tanks, water down leads to prevent flooding in communities and access the neighborhood development partnerships to enhance the objectives of safety in our communities. Furthermore, the lack of rural road asset management system, expanded public work programs, which in its nature assists the address youth unemployment. In the light of the above, good propose that the adjustment as recommended not be approved due to the narrowing alignment and the fact that the budget clearly doesn't speak to the political will to assist the poorest of the poor. The project which are project ready must be implemented as per legislation before new projects are implemented. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Nkamile. You have 1 minute, please.
Enkosi Somlomo, thina siliqela le-EFF asihambiselani ncam ke ne-adjustment budget ngokuba ke ubukhulu becala ayizikhankanyi izinto ezichaphazela uluntu olungathathi ntweni and kwaye ke amaxesha amaninzi siyaqaphela okokuba i-adjustment budget xa iseyiziswa apha ebhungeni iza yona ibukeke njengento entle kodwa ke kafuneka ku-implementiwe ayithethi iimfuno zabantu ubukhulu becala ke beekhansila ezikwi-opposition eziye zizikhankanye. So thina sizama ukuthi ke siliqela le-EFF Somlomo asihambiselani ngakumbi ke nale adjustment budget. Ngosi.
Thank you very much. Could we have a translation, please? Corporate Services, could we have a translation, please? Am I audible?
Clearly.
Corporate Services, can I ask for the 3rd time? Could we have a translation, please?
Sorry, Speaker, we're not hearing anything. Is there...
I'm not hearing anything either. That is my concern, Chief Whip. There should be an interpreter online and waiting, and we've now wasted 2 minutes of the time. I'm waiting for an interpretation, please.
Good morning, Speaker. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
As the EFF, we are not in favor of this adjustment budget because it does not seem to make mention of the people that are poor, people that are not that are in the most disadvantaged areas, because many times when this adjustment budget is being brought to council, it looks good and sounds good, but then you find out it does not cater for our people's needs that are poor. And most of the time, it does not when it comes to implementation, it does not favor opposition. Therefore, we are not in favor of this adjustment budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So noted. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Alexander. You have 2 minutes, please.
Goeiemôre, Speaker. Dankie vir die geleentheid. Die PA neem kennis van die aanpassing van die begroting. En die PA wil ook net graag weet, hoe gaan minder bevoorregte areas baat van byvoorbeeld die oprigting van ordentlike bushaltes en opgraderings van 'n reeds swak infrastruktuur. Daar word nuwe roetes geskep. Bijvoorbeeld Meyer aanhaling gemaakt van die route van Timberlake voor die nieuwe route. Maar als bestaande routes wat nog geen upgrade gehad het, die paaien is stikkend gereid en het kost ons verskriklik baie geld. So hoop dat hierdie begroting ook sal uitmaak vir hierdie gedeeltes en ook die skuiling, die oprigting van goeie skuiling vir mense wat in die reën staan met die busse. Dan wil die PA ook weet, hoe is dit moontlik? Hoe is dit moontlik nadat ons nou pas gesien het met hierdie storms verlede week? Hoe is dit moontlik dat geen voorsiening gemaak is vir die informele nedersetting op hierdie budget wat reeds in hagelike toestande is? Daar is geensins vir dit gekyker en dit is vir die PA. Dan is daar ook die ander gedeelte wat die PA baie bekommerd is die feit dat die MM se budget kantoor se budget in confidential is. Hoe kan 'n publieke, dit is publieke geld wat gespend gaan word en ek glo dat dit moet in openbaar gemaak word. Die publiek het nodig om ingelig te word, Speaker. En dan wil ons ook laastens gaan na die GRB behuising. Ons wil weet hoekom daai cap housing projects nie van die grond af kan kom nie, wat reeds al in vorige geleenthede bespreek was in die Alma Park en ook in die Crocodile Park. Baie dankie, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Could we have a translation, please?
Thank you, Speaker. We as the PA, we take note of the adjustment budget, and we want to say it does not seem like it is the disadvantaged people are going to be accommodated, because when it comes to transportation and the infrastructures and the buses, when they are going to be in those locations, how are they going to be accommodated in those roads that need to be maintained and upgraded? Because we do not see that there's provision that is made to maintain such roads. And how is it possible, number two, the PA wants to know, how is it possible that there are no provisions that are set in place or made for the storms that we had last week, as the disaster that we had to face last week, but we see that those concerns are not being catered for. And the third thing that the PA wants to know is that how come that the MM's office budget is in the confidential, because it is the public's money and the public has the right to know what is going on. So such things should not be discussed as private matters. They should be out in public so that everybody can be able to know and follow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Could we, the next person to speak on this item is Councillor Kruger. You've got 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Good morning, all. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I second the proposal made by my colleague, Councillor Wessels. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. The item therefore carries. The next item on the agenda is 4.2, which is the water situation in George, Directed Civil Engineering. The first person to speak on this item is Councillor Johnson. You have 3 minutes.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, councillors, officials. This item before Special Council today, I believe, will be welcomed by municipal ratepayers, as it would bring some sort of relief in terms of the water tariff Mr. Speaker, in short, this item seeks council approval to ease our current water restriction from a 2C down to 2B restrictions. The relaxation entails the lifting of that emergency tariff charge currently. I want to, however, encourage the Greater George to continue to use water sparingly. It is the most precious commodity. I therefore propose, Mr. Speaker, an amended recommendation, and specifically under B, that level 2B water restriction become applicable on approved by council and effective from the 1st of May 2024. I so propose. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Mankele. You have 1 minute, please.
Manibulise Speaker Nepunga. ANC sithi lento yokuthathwa kwalamanzi kunyuswa kwawo sicela i-department ihambe iye ebantwini ibafundise, because abantu bakuthi bayasokola abaphangeli, but kunokuthathwa kwamanzi okunyuswayo nosingakwazi bakuthathwa njani. So siyacela i-department ingene ebantwini yenze workshops, because abantu abafundiswanga ngale kuthatha. Sizotsho besibone nale yokudileka kwe-department ukuncedisa abantu bethu xa ngaba kukhona amanzi achithe kanje ezitratweni awesiteka uba ngaba kuqhubeka kancane nje ngokusebenzisa kwamanzi, because abantu bakuthi abayi-understand ukusetyenziswa kwamanzi uba ngaba lusetyenziswa njani, lutshajwa njani. So isicelo sethu siyi-ANC kukuba mayiphume i-department iye ebantwini iyofundisa abantu ngolusetyenziswa kwamanzi. Siyacela department kamasipala because iyalekisha kakhulu.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor. Could we have a translation, please?
Thank you, Speaker. As the ANC, we say that the department should actually go to the public so that people can be made aware of the water rates and the charges, because people, they do not understand anything when it comes to the water rates and the charges. And so the department should actually do awareness programs so that our people can be made aware of even the implementation of the water restrictions and the water that is being wasted, because our people are unaware. So if those workshops can be implemented so that our people can be educated thoroughly when it comes to water. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Peterson. You have 2 minutes, please.
Mr. Speaker, the item before us refers. Firstly, the item is written very cunningly, as it should have been straightforward that the intention is to lift the emergency water tariffs and to revert back to normal tariffs. The reason stated about why the emergency tariffs were implemented in 2022 is noted. The situation should, however, have been addressed in 2023 when the Garden Route dam level maintained the satisfactory level as is indicated in the tariff list. The PBI inquired about this in 2023 when the 3-month average was maintained. The reasons given did not suffice, and the consumers had to bear the brunt of paying higher tariffs that led to more overdue accounts. If the tariffs were lowered to normal tariffs in 2023, we would not have noticed the long queues at the client services and credit control sections of finance. Mr. Speaker, the dam is currently overflowing, and not for the first time since 2023. Why is this item now serving here? Is it because of the upcoming elections and your party are trying to win over some lost ground? Is it because the consumers were exploited enough and the coffers were filled to an acceptable level? Only you and your administration will know the reasons. We are ever glad that you and the administration eventually listened and are willing to revert back to the normal tariffs as should have been almost a year ago. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak on this item is Councillor Kampe. You have 1 minute, please. Councillor Kampe, you have 1 minute, please. Your time is starting.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, we as the EFF, we support the recommendations. They are stated.
And I also support my previous colleagues as what you have stated also. But we want to make it clear that and emphasize the physical engagement with our people, because our community is the poor of the poorest, with no money for data to read these things on YouTube, with no money to buy these papers to read them on newspapers. Can you, as administration, engage our people physically so that they can be aware of these things and stop telling us that we are the councillors who are selling them out to this municipality that is led by the coalition of the DA? So please, we only emphasize physical engagement so that our people can be aware of what is happening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak to this item is Councillor Stanley. You have 1 minute, please.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm going to be very briefly. I second the proposal of my fellow councillor, Browan Johnson. I thank you.
Thank you very much, councillors. That brings us to the end of the open section of this council meeting. Before we close, I believe it's just come to my attention that we have a birthday today. Councillor Muki, Vanvai, you are celebrating your birthday. So for me, on this day, happy birthday, and I'm sure the council wishes you as well. With that, I'm going to ask that the link be broken to the YouTube channel. I'm going to ask all the councillors to remain online, and just that anybody that is not part of the confidential, in other words, the link to YouTube be broken, and we will continue in 5 minutes. So please do not leave this meeting. We're going to continue directly with the next portion in confidential. I'll wait for corporate or communications to let me know that the link is broken, please.